For the very latest news from Thailand, this is the Fabulous Pattaya Media Group. If you could like and subscribe, well, that would be amazing. Thank you so much. In Chiang Mai, an earthquake was recorded yesterday morning, measuring 3.3 on the Richter scale, and felt by residents. No damage is reported. In the south of Thailand, locally religiously persuaded extremists set off a remote-operated explosive device in a home being built by local rangers, resulting in the death of one and injury to four. The house was being built for local villagers, and the detonation is believed to have been set off via a mobile phone attached to a homemade device. Thailand is predicting a power crisis in the coming 12-month period as electricity supplies bought from river-based generators in Laos are expected to see a drop in water flow and hence production too. With experts expecting a 17% drop in supply from Laos, Thailand now plans to import an additional 480,000 tonnes of liquid gas to boost domestic generators, thus avoiding any chance of a blackout. With that comes the possibility of a hike in power costs for homes and businesses for a 4-month period at the start of 2024. In Sakao province, police have investigated a series of mobile phone antennas set up to send signal into the border regions of neighbouring Cambodia and reportedly used by online and phone scammers. 4 were removed, and the operators of another 23, which are licensed, were ordered to turn their transmitters away from sending signals directly next door. Of issue too is the extent to which Thai retailers there are selling SIM cards to those operating in Cambodia, especially since all have to be registered here when sold. The National Broadcasting and Telecommunications Commission, the NBTC, which regulates all form of communication here, that's TV, radio and net, plans to introduce regulation for online content of video sharing platforms such as YouTube and Facebook. Thai media is reporting that a meeting next week will see the regulators look to demand that the service providers ensure that content is acceptable here in Thailand. If approved, it will not only affect those creating content here, but also companies such as Netflix who stream for use here too. The NBTC has always remained a so-called clean operation, in that it works fairly with broadcasters and has been very strict on ensuring that any form of corruption doesn't occur. We know this as a fact, essentially after years of working with them as a licensed radio station. In Sakon Nakhon, a Swedish expat forgot to apply for a visa based on his marriage and children. That caught up with him this week as someone reported him to the authorities. Here on a 1,161-day overstay, he'd never had more than a visitor visa, and that was back in 2020. Investigators found that he'd subsequently divorced his wife, or she'd divorced him, and he now faces deportation. Meanwhile at home, and the Kuwaiti embassy is said to be concerned at the recent rise in issues regarding their youth here in Thailand. That concern was escalated following a crash this week that saw one die and another seriously injured in a high-speed accident on Pattaya's Sukhumvit Road, which involved a local Cambodian who'd pulled out of a side soy, and them travelling at such a high speed that they were unable to avoid him. With the forensic examination due this week, the Kuwaitis were riding a high-powered motorbike for which they may or may not have had licences and were not wearing crash helmets. Medics were furious as they approached the scene and found it difficult to get to the injured due to a crowd of Arab and local onlookers. Police are due to check with the bike renter to establish how the riders were qualified to rent. But the Kuwaitis had ridden through the underpass at high speed, despite bikes being banned in the underpass at all times, day and night. And as always, our news is replaced at the weekend with Megan's What's On guide on Fabulous 103 FM, which is also available from our website. Plenty to do and see, with excellent dining deals too. And with the Met Office predicting for our region today and through the weekend, highs of 32 dropping down to 28, the real feel of 38 in the sun, and a mostly cloudy 3 days. Local and national news today from Fabulous 103 FM and Fabulous Pattaya Media Group. And to get a notification every time we release another bulletin or programme, like and subscribe to our channel, Fabulous Pattaya Media Group, by using the link below.